when certain things are, when
Yeah.
the ball's in play, I can't say nothing.
Yeah, that's
really,
right.
You know, but of course, a lot of us were looking forward to making a little history.
Yeah.
Other than what was made.
Yeah.
And of course, historical vote turnout.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, roughly half of the registered African American voters in the state probably participated in this runoff. SB garnered over 400,000 votes. As
Yeah.
a matter of fact, the actual number was 406,209 at last count. The results, of course, haven't been certified just yet.
That's right.
But a little bit better than 68,000 votes separated he and Cindy Hyde-Smith.
Yeah.
Together, they generated a historic voter turnout for the state of Mississippi in what was a runoff election during the midterm.
Yeah.
This is unheard of.
Right.
And I'll say now, I think he ran a class campaign. I'm having a problem as a result of this campaign in particular, from dealing with both sides of the aisle. When it comes to all these cowboy ads that come up,
Yeah.
and I call it that because many of the ads that people heard out there were what we call non-regulated, in that they were ran by these PACs.
Yep.
And you heard the disclaimers on them saying that they were not okayed by anybody's
Candidate.
any
Campaign.
candidate or
Yeah.
campaign. So
Yeah.
they were just out there saying whatever
Yep, they wanted to say.
And I think going forward, that needs to be looked at because some things just simply were wild.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
So let me say so historic numbers, historic turnout for SB, right? You know, they said that no one who has ever ran for that seat on the Democratic side has ever gotten that many votes, right?
Right.
And still it wasn't enough. Still a lot of us stayed home.
He had talked to journalist Roland Martin, and SB, he and his camp had estimated to beat her, they would need at least 500,000 people to vote for him.
Right.
And
how many of us stayed home?
Well, roughly at least 396,000.
396,000 African Americans stayed home yesterday.
Now, see, all we needed was another 100,000.
Another 100,000.
You know.
That's an aha moment for us. This is how I ended the night. I said, you know, it's time for Mississippi to look in the mirror. Now, I commend SB for running a unifying campaign. And even him running a unifying campaign and all the things, the rallies that he did, the crisscrossing the state, and I mean bringing in different people like Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Eric Alexander, Roland Martin. They brought all these different people and even had videos from Joe Biden. It still wasn't enough to get enough of us to come out and vote yesterday. Because if we like you said, if he had just gotten that 500,000 votes, so if we had gotten, if all of us who are registered to vote had got out yesterday and voted.
And you know, and the other thing too, and I posted a piece on Facebook this morning that stirs to my mind, and this is just one black man talking.
Yeah.
It's like this. I don't think we're ever going to get all of us to the polls, and that's why I'm saying, and I think SB. He said something in the course of speaking to his supporters last night. He said, "Don't let this simply be a defeat. Let it be the beginning of a movement."
And that's why.
And that's why I was prompted to share this morning that I think he's right. Let it be the start of a movement. Let's do everything we can to activate as many of those 400,000 people who did not vote.
That's right, today.
And also at the same time, develop new tactics and alliances for the battles that are yet to come. There's some things that are coming down the pike.
Right.
Of course, they're continuing to try and stack the Supreme Court. That's said to be the main reason that Republicans want control of the Senate.
Of the
because
Senate.
the Senate is the one that nominates and confirms the Supreme Court nominees. Now, the other thing that is on the agenda of this administration and this Senate is the fact that in the wake of what's going on now with the budget, all the tax cuts they've given. They're seeking to offset those tax cuts. What Mitch McConnell has proposed, cuts to Social Security, the cost of living adjustment, increasing the retirement age, and of course, all these things that they're doing could very wind up having fewer doctors accepting Medicare.
Yep.
Cuts to Medicare, Part D, and all these kind of things. Those are still on the table. So
Yes.
we need, not only do we need to be active when it comes to voting, but we got to be active when it comes to getting on the phone or writing a letter
To our elected officials.
to the senators
Yes.
and representatives
Yes.
when it comes to dealing with the benefits that
Yes.
you and I and other folks have been, we've been supporting and
That's
paying
right.
into, that many of which are our, mothers and fathers,
Grandparents.
are they paid into the system, now they're benefiting, but you want to go balance this thing out on the back of the people who can least afford it.
Yeah.
That's because you ain't worried about nothing, because all you have to do is serve one term in the Senate or Congress,
And you take care of the rest of your life.
For life.
That's it now. That's right.
And so these things that they're talking about doing aren't going to hurt the people who are sitting in D.C.
Right. It's going to hurt us.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, all politics are local. They are local, and you're absolutely right. After today, and I agree with Mike SB on this, is that today we need to be preparing for tomorrow. I mean, there are things that are coming down the pipeline, like the things that you mentioned, Medicaid, tax cuts, education. All those things are at play. And what they do well that we have to get to is they find that candidate. And they get in the room at the table and they say, this is who we're going to run. And we're going to run this person because we need X, Y, and Z to happen for us.
Well, they know that candidate they're going to run is going to be pliable and supportive.
Yes.
And appreciative.
Yes.
Of what they're doing for them.
Yes.
And there's no question, in the wake of what's happened with Cindy Hyde-Smith, she's going to be voting for whatever Trump floats.
Everything.
Because at this point, I hate to say it, but she's bought and paid for.
That's it. She is bought and paid for. Period.
The Trump campaign, his, from all them T-shirts and caps he's been selling, that's who paid for the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum.
Y'all heard that right.
The
Don't
Trump
sleep on
campaign
it.
Paid for that.
As the young folks say, y'all better stay woke.
Of course, now on the other hand, we paid for Air Force One. To
You're right. Right.
So.
But so that's that. Once again, I want to congratulate Mike Espy because for running that unifying campaign. I do want to commend him.
And of course, y'all, this morning had to be different.
Yeah, it had to be different, right?
Some of the different.
I mean, because the world was watching.
Yeah, the world was watching.
The world was watching. I mean, I got phone calls from North Carolina, Chicago, New York. People were watching to see how Mississippi, put it this way, if Mississippi was going to stay in the 1960s or if it was going to come into the 21st century. That was the exact words from that's what they're looking.
And it's sad, because I know I've had people in my own family who have not been to Mississippi in years. Yeah. And others who they only kind of like came a little bit of North Mississippi, kind of stuck their toe in
going back.
And these people, there are people out there across this country who still think we're definitely the backwoods of the South. Yeah. And things that we're doing, and something else I got to speak to before. I don't know, what any particular individual was thinking when they went hanging the nooses around the state capitol. Now that could have swung a number of different ways. Number one, if it was somebody of color trying to fan the flames to get people to come out and support. Obviously, it didn't work. Right. On the other hand, if it was some of them other folks over there trying to send us a message, that didn't work either. And I hope they get their hands on whoever did it.
Let me say what I said. I said this the other day. There's no way, and we've all been around the Capitol. There's always a Capitol Police car always driving around the Capitol. There is no way anybody's going to make me believe that somebody hung that noose at the Capitol and nobody saw it.
7 of them.
You can't tell me nobody saw that.
No, the Capitol Police are much better than that.
Yes. You can't tell me nobody didn't see that.
You know,
I'm not gonna believe that.
No,
So Phil Bryan with that statement about when we catch whoever did, miss me with that, Phil.
Yeah,
Miss me with that.
I just feel like there's subtle messages being sent to people out there, and unfortunately, there again, it's like we're living back in the '60s
right.
in terms of what's going
on. Yeah,
I ain't even thought about nothing else.
Oh yeah. I, when I tell you, I have literally have not thought about anything else because I have really been trying to wrap my head, number one, around what happened and how, and then B, trying to figure out how do we move forward to impact change here in the state of Mississippi and change the narrative, because
yes.
I'm like Fannie Lou Hamm. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm tired of being last in education. I'm tired of them saying that we're the most overweight state, the way we speak. I'm just tired of all the negativity when people mention the state of Mississippi. So I do understand. Someone told me a long time ago that you have to be the change that you want to see. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I'm just trying to figure out, what can I do, little me of one, to make a change.
Said, it's got to start, I feel with us being educated.
Yeah.
And educating this next generation X,
yeah,
absolutely, whatever you want to call them, because there are far too many of them. I was made aware of a conversation that was had at my house over the weekend relative to one of younger members of our family who said he didn't feel like he had anything to vote for. It wasn't going to make a difference, and I guess at least 68,000 or so people out there felt that same way. And that's unfortunate. When we looked at you look at the midterms across the country, and when you see so many races were decided by so few votes, that tells you that your vote does make a difference.
It makes a difference.
And you have got to realize that if you don't actively get out there and be a part of the change, nothing ever changes.
Nothing ever changes.
You got choices to make, and if you want to see change, you got to get up and
you got to do something.
Initiate that change.
Yep. I do want to congratulate. The silver lining for me was the judicial races. To see a bunch of African Americans sitting in those judge seats. Adrian Wooten won yesterday. Judge Adrian Wooten, Judge Faye Peterson now, Judge Johnny McDaniels, and then on the Court of Appeals, Deborah McDonald's there, and David McCarty's there. So for me, that was a silver lining yesterday, and but I can't even think about anything entertainment wise. I probably won't be able to get there for another week. Because
it's a good thing most of the shows we talk about are going on
hiatus. Yes, because yesterday.
But we just hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving.
Yes. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I pray everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I do want to mention this is that Jamal Bryant, that was the announcement that shocked the world that Jamal Bryant is headed to Atlanta to New Birth, and his first sermon there is going to be on December 9th, and I plan on being there just to cover it, to see to see how the congregation is receiving him, and how he does, and how Atlanta's receiving him, and what his plans are to take New Birth to into the next season of their lives or whatever. So so that'll be interesting to see.
And of course, I do want to say it was great seeing you at St. Luther on this past
I do want
to
let me mention St. Luther, because we did talk about it that same night. But Sunday at St. Luther with Jacqueline Carr, let me tell you something. I went home saying this. I said, Percy Davis run St. Luther. Oh, I mean, everybody, look, I know, I don't want you to get in no trouble, but I'm just going to say it. Everybody was commending you for a job well done. I mean, truly a job well done. Jacqueline Carr, I think she got off the road singing. That's what I say, got off the road singing.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And she did it. And let me tell you what she said. And I don't even know if people realize that she kept saying, Mississippi, this is your winning season. She kept saying it. Yeah. And she has a prophetic voice. So, even, we still won yesterday in my eyes, Mm-hmm. So, yeah, she kept saying, Mississippi is your winning season. And like I said, you did a phenomenal job. That place was packed. And I was running late. And I walked in and was like, oh, my God, where am I going to park? Well, first I said, where am I going to park? Then I walked in and was like, Lord, where am I going to sit? St. Luther was packed on Sunday. Y'all choir. I mean, let me tell you. Usually when artists come to town, they sing behind the track. Jacqueline didn't have no track on Sunday.
No.
She had the St. Luther choir and their musicians.
And they didn't do a sound check.
And they didn't do a sound check. Oh, it was off the chain at St. Luther Sunday. St. Luther was a place to be on Sunday. So you guys did a phenomenal job.
So
I do
God
have to
gets
commend
the
you
glory.
guys.
God gets the glory.
Yeah, you guys did a phenomenal
job. It was an awesome time, and certainly we just had a wonderful time.
It was a
104th year church anniversary.
Awesome. And I do want to shout out. I got to shout out Ben Cone. Shout out Ben Cone and worship Ben Cone. Phenomenal job at the ESPY's Get Out to Vote rally. Monday night, Ben Cone and worship, they always bring it, always energetic, and he didn't disappoint. Dathan Dick Penn, he did not disappoint either. So I do want to commend those two homegrown gospel artists for a job well done on Monday night.
All right then.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's all I have. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at FirstLadyB, or log on to my blog, FirstLadyB.com.
All right.